Planet Champa, Universe 6. Goku and his third son had undergone the most training of all after fighting a twisted version of Goku Black himself and Dark Vegeta. After that battle occurred, the most powerful warrior had emerged, but Vegeto's ideals were totally different and he himself left that timeline, which was enough to have saved the lives of Gon and Goku. At that moment, Gon began to analyze the situation, and after arriving on the planet Champa, Beerus and Whis appeared beside Vados. Beerus and Whis were surprised to learn that Gon was Goku's son. At that time, many things ended up being shown to a certain extent different, and we can see that the preparation for the Celestial War is reaching the halfway point because there are 8 days left. Goku says, "Mr. Beerus, I haven't seen you for a long time. It seems we haven't seen each other since that unknown being appeared and ended up breaking everything on his planet. I got to know a lot of things and I fought very powerful guys. I met a certain Zyko. I believe he perhaps possessed even more power than you. He really is very powerful. I managed to activate the Infinite Super Saiyan level, but that's pretty much a double-edged sword. This transformation totally drains my energy. If I can't defeat the enemy after using this skill, I'll just get defeated." Vados observes and says, "Mr. Goku is very skilled, but we are talking about those who fought and brought great celestial threats in the past. We know very well what happened. We still need to understand a lot about the angels who want to attack us. After everything that happened in the past, we can still understand what battles could occur. What amazes me is how few of my brothers have appeared here." At that moment, Whis begins to observe and speaks. "This kid looks just like Mr. Goku. He really seems to be strong. Does that mean then that in another timeline, Mr. Goku had a hybrid son who would be half angel and half Saiyan? Very interesting. I want to test this boy's powers." Gon says, "I remember you. You're Mr. Whis, aren't you? In the timeline in which my mother was alive, she always spoke a lot about you. You are my uncle." Whis starts laughing and says, "Look at that. Let's see if this isn't perfect. Gon is your name, isn't it? I want you to come and train with me. We'll be back soon." Beerus watches Whis and says, "What do you think you're doing?" Whis just looks at Beerus and closes her eyes. Beerus smiles and says, "Very well, whatever. Goku, now that you're seeing me, let's see how you would fare becoming a god of destruction." Champa makes a serious face. Vados says, "What do you think, Mr. Champa? You just gotta be going crazy, Beerus." Goku says, "But what am I becoming?" A smile appeared on Goku's face. "I feel like I'm about to surpass my limits." "Alright, my partner, so why don't you whack that like button and subscribe here to the channel so that you don't miss any videos and stay well connected to our entire universe of Z Warriors." Let's get back to the point. After Beerus said that Goku needed to undergo training to become a god of destruction, everyone ended up being amazed. But Vados ended up understanding what Beerus's true ideal was. Vados says, "So that's what you want to do, Mr. Beerus." Before Goku's thinking starts to get distorted again by Zyros's kiss of death technique, who is just sleeping in his unconscious. You want to show how a warrior who has the energy of destruction can act and how he should think. So does that mean this is your real training? Very insightful. But what's your idea? At that moment, Beerus says, "We need Goku to fight some god of destruction, but in this case, it can't be me. He will need to understand more of the essence about Hakai energy, and I know a perfect universe for us to do all of that. After all, they owe us a favor." Goku watches and speaks. "Where are we going, Mr. Beerus?" Beerus starts laughing and says, "You will see a friend from the Tournament of Power. Beerus comments on Universe 11. Goku smiles and already has the perception that he will find Jiren, Toppo, Belmod and Margarita. Heat Blast, Vados, Beerus and Goku enter the Celestial Cube. Vados says,
"Well, Mr. Goku, it seems that now you will participate in another training. You already got much more powerful after you trained in the Room of the Gods. That is, you got much stronger. But now will be the time when you will know the essence of destruction. Have you met several powers? You've already got several skills, but this is perhaps the most interesting skill you will ever understand. Even though you may have already surpassed the powers of certain types of gods, you still need this training to be able to control the Saiyan essence. After all, you will be fighting Zyko and extremely formidable warriors. You need to be aware that you will have to get stronger each time. Isn't it true, Mr. Goku?"
At that instant, many thoughts start to be created in Goku's head. Goku says,
"Does that mean I'm going to have destruction training?"
Beerus smacks silly Goku on the head and says,
"That's exactly it. What part did you not understand from this training? It might make you smarter."
Beerus launches an array of energy at Goku that causes his outfit to change. Goku starts to have the same outfit as a god of destruction. Goku says,
"What's happening to me? It seems that for every training I receive, I wear a different outfit. That sounds funny. Come on, I'm excited for this training. How is Gon doing?"
Meanwhile, on planet Champa, Gon was training alongside Whis to control his angelic power in the Room of the Gods. Universe 18. The unknown being says,
"Looks like you did pretty well, don't you, Ziel? You managed to defeat an angel and a god of destruction. I heard the message from the great priest, but I think I still want to meet that boy. He's here in this timeline, isn't he? The angel of destruction will love to meet the angel Saiyan hybrid. I can feel Whis' energy. We'll be there soon. What is the mystery behind this angel?"
Universe 11. Planet Belmod. Goku, Beerus and Vados arrive at Universe 11's God of Destruction's planet. Belmod watches and speaks.
"Let's see if he's not the cat of destruction. Know that we've had big problems here before. We've fought some beings of your race. Be aware that this whole war is probably your fault, Beerus."
Beerus watches and speaks.
"Don't give me that. We won the Tournament of Power and brought your universe back to life. If not, even you shouldn't exist now."
At that moment, Belmod makes a serious face. Jiren and Toppo were to the side. Belmod smiles and speaks.
"Let's see. If you're not wanting to retire, Beerus, does that mean we have another god of destruction for Universe 7? Son Goku, right?"
Beerus smiles and says, "Goku was just performing training for God of Destruction. I'm just watching his skills. Know that I'm here to propose a challenge. No one from Universe 7 has more potential than Son Goku, and I keep betting with you that this warrior will defeat all of his. I use the simple form for him to come and train here in this universe to learn the power of destruction with other gods. What do you say?" Toppo appears and speaks.
"Well done, Goku. It's been a long time since I've seen you. Surely you've gotten much stronger, haven't you? I would be very happy to be able to train with you."
Goku starts to smile and says, "Toppo, I remember the last battle we had. He was fantastic. How about we show our powers now?" At that moment, Margarita observes and speaks.
"It looks like this Son Goku, with the power of a god of destruction, just got even prettier. I think I'm enchanted by him. Maybe it would be good if he was the god of destruction of this universe, so I could start looking after him. Come with me, Son Goku."
Vados starts to get jealous and says,
That's just sister training. Margarita starts to laugh. Belmod watches and starts to get angry. In a few moments, Toppo starts his fight against Goku. Goku used the mastery of Ultra Instinct, and Toppo using the energy of the Hakai form, they begin to battle. Jiren just watches. Margarita says,
"You don't want to fight, Jiren?"
Jiren responds,
These questions of powers of destruction do not interest me, and after all, I already know who will be the winner of this fight.
Goku, using the power of the Ultra Instinct of Destruction, defeats Toppo and Toppo is thrown away. Goku smiles and says, "You got really strong, Toppo." Toppo responds,
I notice that Universe 7 keeps bringing out the most powerful warriors.
Margarita gets very close to Goku and says,
"Maybe it would be interesting for you to be the god of destruction of this universe. It would do a lot of good for me and everyone else."
Belmod rages and says,
"Well done, Beerus. Toppo is still training to be a god of destruction. Son Goku will fight with me. If this training is what he wants, let's play my cards."
Goku vs. Belmod. Goku received God of Destruction training from Vados and Beerus. Beerus had the idea of making Goku know the power of a God of Destruction, so that he would understand his true ideals, so that in the future in the Celestial War, Angel Zyros would not be able to use the technique of the Kiss of Death on Goku, as it was done last time. That way, Goku's training would make him control his emotions and not get caught up against the enemy in the heavenly battle. Margarita was enchanted by the Celestial Saiyan after seeing him showing his power of destruction and defeating Toppo. But at that moment, Belmod, the official god of destruction of Universe 11, gets angry and says,
"If you want god of destruction training, you can't just fight a god of destruction apprentice. You will fight the true destroyer."
Vados observes and says,
Looks like Universe 11's god of destruction got mad. Sister, did you notice?
Margarita starts to smile and says,
"Come on, Belmod. Show him what you're capable of, and show him that you don't need to be traded."
Beerus laughs and says,
I really can't understand the relationship between these two. He even sweats very weirdly, an angel and a god of destruction. We will see what will happen.
Goku gets excited and watches. Goku says, "Jiren, I'm sure you've gotten stronger since our last battle. You sure are saving that for the Celestial War, aren't you? I hope so. I confess that after this is all over, I would really be very happy to fight you, Jiren." Jiren has a serious expression on his face until Jiren watches and smiles but doesn't say anything. Moments earlier, in preparation for the battle, Goku was resting. Margarita appears and says,
"I would love for you to be our god of destruction, but are you capable of that? Are you that powerful? Could he defeat Belmod?"
Vados appears and says,
I think you better stay calm, little sister. Leave Son Goku to me. I'm already dealing with it.
Margarita observes and says,
"What is it, sister? This is a little weird. I might even say you're jealous."
Vados starts to get all red and says,
It's not that. It's because me and Goku in another timeline had an affair.
Margarita smiles and says,
"What? A Saiyan and an angel?"
Goku gets embarrassed and says, "Let's forget about it and let's train." Belmod rages even more. It seemed that Belmod had feelings for Margarita. Belmod says,
"I don't know what this Saiyan is up to, but I'm going to finish him off here and now."
Universe 18. In Universe 18, the unknown voice of the angel again appears and says,
Well, I'll leave you here, Ziel, since the great priest communique went directly to you, who were getting involved in battle. There are still 8 days left for the Celestial War, but from what I am perceiving, another presence is appearing around here. Maybe if I am going to battle Whis, It's a little more complicated since you can negate the angel's celestial magic. Good thing I possess the power of destruction as well. I'm going to pay a visit to my dear brother. Wait for me. The Celestial Cube is created within Universe 18. The Angel of Universe 18 starts to move. Goku vs. Belmod. The battle begins. Margarita, Beerus, Jiren and Toppo start to watch. Belmod starts running in front of Goku. Goku was in his base form stage. Goku starts exchanging several punches with Belmod. At that moment, Toppo watches and wonders why Goku isn't activating his transformations. Beerus responds, "He knows that none of these transformations will work on Belmod, as Belmod can also control the level of power he is using. This battle is a battle that works between gods, or it will be used in the Hakai form, or the form of Ultra Instinct will be used. They will be the only transformations that manage to make a difference in a fight. So that's why we need to understand what will really happen." What is Belmod up to? Belmod starts drawing cards from his hand and says,
Son Goku, I believe that you must have become much more powerful, and you must imagine that I am a god of destruction. I can do whatever I want. But pay close attention, and that will make things change in a totally different way, because you've never fought against beings that possess great magical power. Have you ever wondered why Zeno-sama is considered the most powerful of all? He can erase a universe anytime he wants, but there are still other beings who can cancel his magic. Beings like me.
Goku is impressed. Vados says,
Looks like Universe 11's God of Destruction wants to fight seriously. He himself is using his cards. Interesting.
Vados starts to laugh. Margarita is smiling and says,
Belmod, show your true power.
Goku says, "What's this guy doing? His way of fighting is totally different from Mr. Beerus's way. Why is that?" At that moment, Beerus says,
"But in order to bring balance, we need to make very difficult decisions, Goku. Belmod's letters say it all. Not always what is correct is what happens before the eyes of mortals. Just like the Joker is always having a laugh, but he's never happy, always looking for a means of attention. It's like much of humanity. The king we know, they have been on top next to the queen. Zeno-sama does not fall before anyone. Can you understand how universal decisions start to happen?"
Goku begins to have several flashbacks, remembering the destruction of the planet of the Saiyans. Goku says, "Is he saying that some things really should happen? Because if not, worse things would occur." Belmod says,
I have 5 cards here. Of these cards, the king is not below and fears no one. If I choose a card in my favor, my powers will surpass even the powers of the most powerful beings in this universe. Otherwise, I could become the weakest being. This is the level of magic power in a fight. I can become the weakest being and die, or I can become the most destructive being in the universe. What do you think of that, Son Goku?
Goku couldn't believe what he was seeing. Belmod draws a card from his hand, the King card. Beerus says,
"It looks like this will be the end of Goku then."
Margarita observes and speaks.
The King's card causes the Supreme Being to pass the powers to Belmod. Perhaps Belmod is between the most powerful god of destruction in existence and the weakest god of destruction.
Belmod's powers begin to increase, and Goku, with the power of a god of destruction, begins to receive several blows from the god of destruction of Universe 11. Goku says, "What's happening? This guy's definitely not a human. Those powers really could end me at any moment. What is he up to? Damn, that couldn't happen." Goku begins to receive several blows and can no longer bear to move. The power that Goku learned in the Hall of Time as it was brought to a power of a god didn't match this energy either. Belmod says,
Margarita, I don't think you had anything to worry about. You saw this guy was nothing.
Vados looks at Goku and says,
Mr. Goku, remember the fight against Zyko. Remember the fight against all the other beings you had. Is this how in a celestial war you want to protect everyone? Pay close attention. Many things will still be changed. Can you understand, Mr. Goku? Believe what I am saying. You have much greater potential to win. Trust me. Come with me. Do what only needs to be done. So if your Ultra Instinct power isn't working out, remember that your training is now for a god of destruction.
Goku begins to remember all the battles he had. Goku starts to remember Vegeta and says, Vegeta's power works like this. The more hits he takes, the more powerful he gets. If this guy became the most powerful in the universe, I just need to get over it. I will finish you now. Goku manages to activate the power of Ultra Ego combined with Ultra Instinct. Belmod is surprised by the great energy that was being shown. A big Hakai fist is hurled at Goku. His energy grows more and more. Belmod says,
What? Did this guy get even stronger? Damn it, I disabled the power of my king card. I thought he couldn't get up anymore.
Belmod receives Goku's Hakai fist and is thrown away. Goku says, It seems that this power is really incredible. Thank you, Madam Vados. Belmod flung away and says,
Looks like I let my guard down. Very good. You have passed training, son Goku.
Margarita hugs Goku and says,
I said that you could be the god of destruction of this universe.
At that moment, a barrier is created within the planet of destruction of Universe 11. Belmod says,
What? Are we stuck here?
Goku speaks, What's up? Margarita and Vados make a serious face and say,
I know this energy. It's him, Cipher.
Beerus and Belmod are surprised. Goku questions himself, Who is this Cipher? Vados says,
Cipher is our brother, the only angel considered as the angel of destruction of Universe 18. He manages to cause a lot of trouble in all universes, and now we feel his energy light years in the set universe in Universe 6. Looks like he's going after Gon and Whis. That's why someone is holding here.
Goku says,
That's not possible.
Cipher, the destroyer angel of Universe 18. Planet Belmod, Universe 11. Goku says, Are we stuck here? It could be that Mr. Whis and Gon need our help. How do you have so many enemies like that? How are there so many powerful guys who have great anger towards the great priest? At that instant, Beerus says, I hope now you understand what I meant about Belmod's letters. We have here the existence of 6 universes that were erased by Zeno-sama due to a rebellion that happened between gods and angels. One of these most powerful gods was Ziel, the one who was from the cold demon race, or the first of the founders who possessed an extremely powerful ability, even surpassing that of several angels. He gave us big headaches and ended up defeating me and Whis, but Whis hid some kind of skill. Maybe we didn't analyze very well what the enemy could do. But who is this guy, who being in Universe 6, manages to create a barrier directly in Universe 11? Who is this Cipher? Vados becomes reflective and says,
Cipher is a brother of ours who had great abilities, perhaps the strongest among all angels in terms of destructive power, but he was always in big fights with our father, the great priest. Cipher always wanted to destroy everything. He showed great powers when he was little. He, along with Zyros plus 4 other brothers of mine who were always the biggest highlights, had slightly distorted thoughts. When we took it to assess their strength level at that time, they were 3 times more powerful than us. So we could say that Cipher really is a big problem. The big question here is, they were always interested in fighting the same way as a god of destruction. He had destruction skills even though he was an angel, and his true conflict is that he believed he could become a god of destruction and not an angel. He did not consider an angel's powers to be his powers that should be brought to his grace. Then after that, conflicts with the high priest began more common. I'm going to tell you the past of Cipher, the angel of destruction.
Universe 6, Room of the Gods of Destruction. Whis and Gon continue to fight. Gon says,
Mr. Whis, you are very powerful indeed. It seems your skills can surpass any level I've ever seen. Does this mean that this is how you become more powerful? This force really is getting more and more incredible. What are you capable of?
In that instant, when Whis' power was being shown, Whis says,
I know you also have the power of an angel, but I only see you using Saiyan techniques. I would really like to know to what level your angelic power is possible to reach, Gon.
Whis pressures Gon. After pressing it, Gon starts to raise a huge energy. Gon raises his power to the maximum. Whis presses it and starts to smile. Whis says,
Well done, Gon. You will surely surprise me more and more.
Another voice appears interrupting Whis and Gon, and it says, Let's see if it isn't my brother Whis and the son of Vados. This really is amazing. Whis makes a serious face and says,
It seems that the universe I'm in always comes up with something. I'm starting to attract problems. First it was Ziel, and now you. This voice from the past, it never sounded strange to me, did it, brother Cipher?
Cipher appears, Universe 18's Angel of Destruction. Gon faces Cipher and says,
By this feature, I already imagined that this guy must not be good. Well, what do we have to do here, Mr. Whis?
Cipher starts laughing and says, I didn't come here to fight. I don't want any more trouble with you, my brother. The only thing I want is to take the boy with me. Whis makes a serious face and says,
You must be crazy as usual.
Universe 11. Vados keeps talking.
I will now tell you about Cipher's background.
Palace of Zenosama a millennia ago. The high priest held a meeting with all the angel apprentices. Whis, Margarita, Vados, and all the other angels were there. The high priest says,
You are all apprentices of celestial beings, and you need to understand the true role of angels. You will be the balance in case the gods of destruction gets out of hand. The god of destruction destroys the planets to bring the universes into balance, but not everyone starts to act in the right way. The moment a god of destruction fails to play his part, the angel has to bring balance by seeking the well-being of the entire universe. They can never use their powers for their own will. The angel's training can get you expelled if you don't follow the rules.
All the angels seem to observe in a somewhat different way. Zyros didn't care much about it. Zyros said,
Why should I do this? Since if I wanted to bring balance with just my kiss of death technique, I could control everyone. Living in a world I like would be extremely fascinating.
The high priest smiles and says,
That's a very bold thought. You could be sealed if you had already become a real angel. No one can think like that. You have to let everyone do what they want. After all, no one is your puppet.
At that moment, an angel with short hair starts laughing and says, This is madness. This is all bullshit. You have no idea what you're doing. You have no idea of anything. If we have the power, if we are the most powerful beings in all the universes, we should end them all. Anyone who doesn't do what we say should be destroyed. We are the real destroyers. We can end everything and anyone whenever we want. Can't you understand this? We have the strength of it all. So let's not fall for that. let's show what we really came for. This is the power of the angels, the race of destruction." At that moment, when the angel had spoken all these words, the high priest appears in front of him and says,
"You will be sealed."
All the angels begin to watch. Whis, next to Vados and Margarita, says,
"Our brother Cipher really doesn't get along, does he? It seems that all he does is think of himself. Looks like he hasn't learned anything."
Cipher had held a lot of grudges since he was little and had been sealed away several times by the high priest in the celestial prison. Cipher says, "One day I will still get out of here, and you know it. I am much more powerful even than you, my father. None of you will beat me." The high priest begins to laugh and says,
Do you really think you have more powers than me? This is amazing. So let go of there. While you don't leave, you'll stay here cooling off.
For a long time, the high priest practically every day went to visit Cipher and see if his thinking had already changed, but his ideals always remained the same. The angel who only thought about destruction. Cipher's powers as he became sealed increased more and more, until the moment when the great priest after millennia appeared to visit Cipher in the celestial prison and a temporal rift had been created. Cipher managed to escape from the celestial prison. Back to the current times. Goku is fascinated and says, "So this guy is very powerful, isn't he? Perhaps even more powerful than Zyko. He is among the most powerful in the universe." Vados observes and speaks.
"Sure he is. Now we need to understand what level he reached."
At that moment, Whis was having a great battle against Cipher. Ziel travels directly to Universe 6. Cipher starts to land several blows on Whis. Whis begins to dodge with his mastery of Ultra Instinct and says,
"I don't know how long you were sealed, my brother, but know that I am also among the most powerful in the universe. I'm Whis, the angel of Universe 7.
At that instant, a great pressure of energy is created. Gon appears and begins to fight directly with the Angel of Destruction from Universe 18. Cipher speaks.
Well, it looks like you won't be able to do anything around here, and like I said, I didn't come here to fight, just to take the kid. Whis, our fight will come later.
A time rift is created directly in Universe 6 in the room of the gods of destruction. Ziel appears and says,
"We need not engage in battles any longer until the day of the great heavenly war. Receive my sealing technique."
Whis begins to have his angelic power drained by Ziel's ability. Whis says,
"This time his power won't work on me."
Ziel is surprised to see that Whis was managing to resist his sealing magic. Ziel says,
"Very interesting, Whis. You're managing to resist. But what about the boy? If you try to stop the boy, it's over. If you want the boy, well, don't get involved."
Whis makes a serious face again against Ziel and says,
"Ziel, you will pay for all of this."
At that moment, Cipher teleports behind Gon and says,
I said I just wanted to know about the kid. We need to talk a little.
Gon is imprisoned by Cipher. Cipher starts laughing and tells Whis,
See you later, my dear brother. I'll see you soon.
Gon is captured. Whis says,
"This couldn't have happened."
Universe 11's barrier is undone. Everyone wonders what's going on. To be continued. Alright partner, what do you imagine about all of this? What will happen in the face of the next battle? Regardless of what it is, it's more than important that you share your thoughts in the comments below so that we can get into a crazy debate. Whack that like button and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any videos. That's all there is to it, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.